here with my dog, my teammate. I'm super hyped to have my girl here. Two-time WNBA All-Star, Kelsey Mitchell. What's good with it?
What's good with it? Imagine grinding for 7 years with the same team, watching coaches come and go, suffering through one losing season after another, and just when you're ready to give up, a rookie walks in and changes everything. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, that's exactly what happened with Kelsey Mitchell and the Indiana Fever. So finishing with a long passes ahead Wheeler extra feet. Oh, for years she was a solo warrior, putting up all-star numbers with no team success to show for it. You know me, I'm a Fever girl, you're a Fever girl. I'm a Fever girl's 7th year. You know, it's been a difficult year for me from a standpoint of personal. You know, I lost my dad 5 or 6 months ago, so that was tough. And I look back on my year now, and I'm just so grateful to be here again because I never thought, for one, to be doing it without a parent, but in 2024 something drastic shifted. What really happened behind the scenes, and how did Caitlin Clark, a rookie, save Mitchell's career? Stick around because this interview reveals everything. So, we just gonna hop into it. We know who you are, yeah. We know you a bucket, but a lot of our listeners, they may not know who you are, what you about, what school you went to. You really are true definition of an easy bucket. For 7 straight seasons, the Fever missed the playoffs. 7 years of constant rebuilding, 7 years of different coaches, different systems, and different game plans, none of which ever led to success. And yet through all of it, Mitchell kept grinding. She never let up. She kept proving that she was one of the best scorers in the league. But here's the thing about basketball. It's not just about how good you are individually. You can drop 20 points a night, but if your team isn't winning, people stop paying attention. And in a league like the WNBA, where every moment in the spotlight matters, Mitchell wasn't getting the recognition she deserved. And it wasn't just the team's record holding her back. Imagine going through 4 different head coaches in 7 years. Every time a new coach comes in, it's like starting over, new strategies, new philosophies, new expectations. You don't get to build chemistry. You don't get to establish a long-term identity. It's exhausting, and for Mitchell, who is expected to be the face of the franchise, it was frustrating beyond belief. You and Eve both been here for a number of years, right? Y'all done been through the tough years. Well, you really got to grind it out, till season what you had 7 years here, all 7. You ain't never been to another team. I'm gonna be the girl. She had every reason to walk away. She could have asked for a trade. She could have sought out a team that was already winning, where she wouldn't have to carry so much of the burden, but she didn't. She stayed, and that loyalty, as painful as it was at times, became part of her identity. She wasn't just another player in Indiana. She was Indiana team, not individual. Team, and anybody that wanted to compete and be a winner, it's about team. It's about team, and so I was always open to having really great pieces around me, and I just think it was unfortunate. And I just think the hand that I was dealt was I take what's, I trusted an organization in different ways, from the management, the people that they brought in. And so I just kind of trusted the wave. And so I looked back. But let's talk about what that actually meant for her on the court. Despite everything working against her, Mitchell kept hooping at an elite level. From 2018 to 2023, she was averaging over 16 points per game. And not just as a high-volume scorer, she was efficient too. She was deadly from 3, able to create her own shot, and had one of the quickest releases in the league. Her game was built for success, but success never seemed to find her team, and it wasn't like she wasn't trying to change things. She was the first in the gym, last to leave type of player. She was doing everything she could to make the team better, but in the WNBA, one star alone can't fix everything. You need the right system, you need the right coach, you need teammates who complement your style. And for years Mitchell didn't have that. Then came 2023, a season that for the first time gave her a glimpse of hope. She finally got recognized as an all-star, something that should have happened years earlier. She put up career numbers, proving that she wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. But still the Fever weren't where they needed to be. They were improving, sure, but they weren't contenders, and Mitchell knew that something had to change if she was ever going to see the playoffs. And then, just as she was preparing for another season, something happened that completely shook her world. In March 2024, she lost her father. If you've ever lost a parent, you know that kind of pain doesn't just go away. It changes you, it makes you question everything, and for Mitchell it made her question basketball. She described her father as her OG, her biggest supporter, her toughest critic. He was the one who had pushed her to be great, and now he was gone. She didn't know if she could keep playing. She didn't know how she was supposed to focus on the game when her mind was clouded with grief. She even admitted in an interview that she thought about stepping away from basketball entirely. The passion that had driven her for so long suddenly felt distant for someone who had always relied on basketball as a safe haven. This was uncharted territory. Every time she stepped onto the court, she was reminded of her father. Every game, every moment she felt his absence, and that's when something unexpected happened. Caitlin Clark arrived. Now, let's be honest, when Caitlin Clark was drafted by the Fever, the whole basketball world held its breath. She was the most hyped rookie in WNBA history. People weren't just watching to see how she'd perform. They were watching to see how her teammates would react. Would they embrace her? Would there be tension? Would veterans like Mitchell feel pushed aside? That the rookie would get all the attention and the veteran who had been loyal through the worst years would be forgotten? But that's not what happened. Clark's presence did something no one expected. It revitalized Kelsey Mitchell for the first time in years. Mitchell wasn't alone. Thanks for watching and subscribe my channel.